Hello everyone. Today our topic is about the numbers. Okay, it's our first chapter about IGCSE mathematics. Okay, so in this chapter we are learning about integers, directing numbers, and the order of operations. Okay, so let's move to the first part about the numbers. Okay, so the first part you can see here is about number classification. Okay, so for numbers we can just make different types of them. Like here, the first part is natural numbers. Okay, so for natural numbers we can using a capital letter N to represent for this, okay? Like we can count the numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all can called natural numbers, okay? And for integers, we can use in Z to represent for this, okay? So integers concluded like some negative numbers, also for 0 and also for the natural numbers. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or also we can set 0 and -1, -2 to maybe negative unlimited, okay? This is for integers, okay? And after that, we have like some directing numbers and the numbers with a specific direction. Okay, there's the like the like different types of integers. Okay, so here we can find in some syllabus, and maybe we can find there's a very big number like here we can say 6 billion like this. Okay, and here you can find there's a lot of zero after the 6, right? You can find there's 9 zeros after the 6. Okay, so we can say that this is a very big integers and we are using the scientific written ways to write down about the 6 billion, okay? Maybe in the next lesson, we'll learn about how to using a scientific method to write in this very big number, okay? But first, we have to just understand the difference between natural numbers, integers, and for directed numbers, okay? They're very important, okay? So next part is about order of operations. Okay, so we knew that operations like the plus, like the subtractive, or like maybe we have product. They're all different kinds of orders of sorry, different like operations. Okay, so for the operation we have the orders. We can say here that there is a very brief understanding of the order. It is BODMAS. Okay, so some people will say it's BODMAS. Okay, so what is BODMAS mean right here? So because BODMAS B represents for the brackets, okay? So maybe here we have like 3 times 4 plus 5. You have to first calculate the value in the brackets. Okay, why you put bracket at the first place? Okay, it's for the meaning. Okay, so you have to solve the inside bracket out. Okay, and then you have to find the orders. Like we have indices and the roots after that. Okay, so maybe here we have like x squared, or maybe for square root x. Okay, maybe here we have to calculate for indices and roots. And after that, we have division and multiplication. Okay, so just follow the rule from left to the right. Like here, you have 3 point times 5 plus 6 times 7. Okay, so here you have to make multiplication calculate at first. Okay, and after that, you can try to like addition and subtraction. Okay, so here we can find this means brackets, this means order, and this means division, this means multiplication, and this means addition, and this means subtraction. Okay, they are very important for here the operations in like BODMAS, how to calculate the values. Okay, so here we can find how to use the BODMAS. Like here, if we have like this formula, 5 plus 6 times 7. Okay, so first using BODMAS, we have to find if there's a brackets or not, right? So here's not a bracket, we can just put to next order. There's no indices, right? So we can put to next is D, right? So here you can find also not D, there's next is M multiplication, and we find here we appears multiplication, right? So you have to first calculate 6 times 7 at the very first beginning. So this 42, okay? And 42 out of this 5, total value here is 47, right? That is because we have to calculate multiplication first and then about addition, right? Okay, so here because it is 47, okay? And for a complex expression and also use BODMAS, first we have to calculate the value in the brackets, right? So here is 38 plus 5 squared, and 8 minus 4 is 4. So it's 5 squared times 4, okay? That is for the brackets. And we have to divide it by 2, okay? This is for brackets. And for indices, we can set, oh, maybe here we have 5 squared on the top, right? So here's a 2. We have to first calculate the 5 squared. So 5 squared equals 25. So here's 38 plus 25 times 4 over 2. Okay, this is indices calculation. And then you have to calculate for about multiplying and division, right? So here we have like like 25 times 4, we have to first calculate the multiplication, and it's 100. And 100 divided by 2, the value is 50. Okay, so the final answer is 38 plus 50. The result is 88. Okay, so this is how we can calculate the BIDMAS by using this way. I guess it's not very difficult for you. Okay, so here is how we can use in BIDMAS. And the last part is about directed numbers. Okay, so we are just moving to what is about directed numbers. Okay, so we have already knew that how to calculate between numbers, right? And this is like some formulas for you to understand. Like here, we have addition and subtraction. Like here, we have a plus a bracket, and in the bracket, we have a negative b. Okay, so after we calculate that is a minus b. Okay, and if we have a minus the negative b in the bracket, when we are opening the brackets, you can find the two negative becomes a positive, right? Okay, this is very important words for us to understand. Like 3 minus negative 4, and the final result must be 3 plus 4. Okay, we have two negative, and negative with negative becomes a positive value. So 3 plus 4, and the final answer is 7. Okay, and we also can use this to multiplication and division. Okay, and we knew that if there's a like two negative values, say times or they divide by each other, the final answer must be positive. And one is negative and one is positive. The final answer must be negative. Okay. So here you can find there some examples for you to further understand. Like here, like negative 3 squared equals to negative 3 times negative 3, and the final answer equals to 9, right? Because we can write down like negative times negative. By using this method, we can find here two negative times together, and the final answer must be a positive number, right? And 3 times 3 equals to 9. So final answer is positive 9. Okay. So if you added like a negative symbol before 3 squared, okay, so here is negative and 3 times 3, and it equals to negative 9, okay. So just pay attention to the brackets, it's very important. And if you have like brackets outside, you have to calculate all the inside value together and find whether it's positive value or negative value. And if the negative value, like negative symbol is outside, we can just calculate the brackets or calculate the indices, and then we can put a negative or positive outside. Okay, so here's for this. And here's an exercise for you to do so. Okay, so you can just take your time to solve these problems, please. Okay, and for the question 4, you can just use your calculator. Okay. Okay, so for the first problem, I think it's very difficult for you, right? Okay, use the BIDMAS. We have first calculate the value in the brackets, right? So in the brackets, we have 2 plus 4, right? So here the final answer is 15 minus 3 times 2 plus 4 is 6, right? So 15 minus 18, and the final answer is negative 3, right? And for the second part, we want to calculate for the negative 4 times negative 8 over 2. Using BIDMAS, there's no bracket. Oh, sorry, maybe here is brackets, but we have already calculated the value inside it, right? And then using the like multiplication, and we find that there's negative times negative, right? And the negative times negative becomes a positive. So negative 4 times negative 8 equals to 4 times 8, right? So here is equals to 4 times 8 divided by 2, okay. So then you can using your handwriting to calculate for 4 times 8, and the final answer is 32, right? 32 divided by 2, and the final answer is 16, okay? This is for the second question. And for the third question, you can find a temperature of -5 degrees rises by 12 degrees and find the new temperature. So we find that maybe for the temperature for -5 to rise up by 12 degrees. So this is just a calculation from -5 degrees plus 12 degrees, right? And the final answer is 12 minus 5 equals to 7 degrees. Okay, so now the new temperature is for 7 degrees. Okay. And for the last question, you can find workout here for the value 2 squared plus square root 144 over 5 times -2, right? Using a calculator, you can find here for 2 cubed, the answer is 8, and here is 12 after this, and divided by 5 times -2, okay? And this answer is -10, okay? So you can find this is 20, and here's -10, and the final answer is -2. Okay, so this is how to calculate for this problem. I think it's not very difficult for you. Okay, so this is for our first lesson about numbers. I guess it's not very difficult for you. And after the class, I hope you can just trying to do more exercise problems about operations, about the orders of calculations. They're very important as the basics of IGCSE mathematics. Okay, so this is all for today's lesson. See you next time. Bye.